Hey there, and welcome. So, today we are talking about something every single parent knows all too well: sleep. But we're going to look at it from a totally different angle. Not just as that thing you fight for at bedtime, but as the missing piece that can literally change your child's entire day: their mood, how they learn, everything. Let's dive in.
You know the scene, right? The epic afternoon meltdown over a broken crayon. The grumpy morning where getting dressed feels like climbing a mountain. It is so easy to just write it off as, they're just in a bad mood. But what if it's not? What if the real culprit, the thing behind all that struggle, is actually a bad night's sleep?
And this is where we get to this really important idea: whole child development. It basically means you can't just look at one piece of the puzzle. Everything is connected. Sleep isn't some separate chore on a to-do list. It's woven into their learning, their behavior, their emotions, even their physical health. It's a huge piece of the entire picture. Okay, so how does a little less sleep actually cause so much chaos during the day? Let's dig into the science here and really connect the dots between a tired brain and those daily struggles that feel, so big.
A good way to think about it is that sleep props up four huge pillars of your child's development. And when they don't get enough rest, one of those pillars gets wobbly, and that can throw everything else off balance.
And the results are really specific. First, it hits their emotional regulation. That's why you see way more meltdowns or even anxiety when they're tired. Then there's attention and focus, making school just a massive challenge. It can even mess with their motor coordination. They might seem a little more clumsy or struggle with things like zippers. And this last one is a biggie: sensory processing. When a kid is overtired, suddenly everything is too much. The lights are too bright, noises are too loud, the tag on their shirt is unbearable. Sound familiar?
Okay, so we get the problem. But what are we even aiming for? What's the goal here? How much sleep is actually enough? Well, let's take a look at the official guidelines.
So take a look at this chart. This breaks down the total recommended sleep, and that includes naps, over a full 24 hours. You can see a preschooler, for example, needs somewhere between 10 and 13 hours. A school-aged kid, 9 to 12. Just take a second and find your child's age group. How are you guys doing compared to these numbers? It's just a really helpful benchmark, especially because a lot of kids aren't quite hitting these targets. All right, so if you're looking at that chart and thinking, uh-oh, we are definitely not there yet, please do not worry. This next part is your action plan. We're going to walk through 3 really simple, totally doable routines that you can literally start tonight. Here we go, 3 game changers. Number 1, create a predictable routine. The brain loves consistency. It's like a signal that says, okay, we're winding down now. Number 2, design a sensory-friendly bedroom. We're going to talk more about what that actually means in a sec. And number 3, limit those evening screens. This one is huge for disrupting the body's natural sleep signals. So let's zoom in on that second point. Sensory-friendly can sound kind of technical, but it's not. It's really just about creating a calm, secure space that's custom-built for what makes your kid feel good. And here are some super practical ideas. It could be as simple as switching to soft lighting or a dim nightlight. For kids who crave that feeling of being held, a weighted blanket can be magical. That's called deep pressure. A white noise machine can block out distracting sounds. And for kids who love cozy little nooks, a small bed tent can feel like the safest place in the world. It is all about finding what makes your child feel settled and relaxed. And for that third point, the best approach is just a clear, simple family rule: no screens for at least 1 hour before bed, period. The blue light that comes from phones and tablets actually tells the brain to stay awake by blocking the sleepy hormone, melatonin. Swapping that screen for a bulk is one of the most powerful changes you can make. Now, these strategies, they can be incredibly powerful. But sometimes you might feel like you've tried everything and you are still struggling. If that's you, listen up. This part is so important because you are definitely not alone in this. It is so critical to remember that asking for professional help isn't a sign that you failed. Not at all. It's actually a super proactive, powerful step towards figuring out what's going to work for your unique family. Sometimes all you need is that expert set of eyes. And there are experts who live and breathe this stuff. You could find a parenting coach who specializes in sleep, or get ready-made visual schedules that make those routines stick. Or you could work with a sensory-informed therapist who really gets the connection between sensory needs and sleep.
In fact, the source for this whole explainer, whole child guide, is basically a national directory built to do exactly that, to connect families with these kinds of professionals. It's a fantastic resource for finding that just right support for your kid.
It all comes back to this one central idea, which our source sums up perfectly. Sleep is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools we have to support the whole child. It's not just about winning the bedtime battle, it's about giving our kids a powerful foundation for a happy, healthy day. So, as we wrap up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Thinking about everything we just talked about, what is one small, totally doable change you could try to make tonight? Because sometimes that one little shift is all it takes to start building much better nights and way, way brighter days.